Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Let the party begin.
What up, people? Welcome to Feature Friday Plus. Today we are joined by Jason D. Hello, how's it going?
Hey guys, how are we? I'm doing well. We're here right now in Manila, and it's raining, and yeah, it's been raining a couple of days now, but it's all good. How are you guys there? You guys in London, right?
Yeah, we're in London
Well, actually,
today.
it's for once on Earth, it's not raining in London.
Yeah,
it's actually sunny.
It's actually clear
Nice.
skies today. Thank God.
Yeah, because
We switched weathers on this day because it's been raining really hard a couple of days here in Manila.
oh wow,
Oh wow. Wish everything
Is
goes
that-
down well though.
is the rain like? Is it warm or is it cold?
It's pretty cool. It changes. Sometimes it gets really hot, but tonight it's pretty cool right now.
Right, because
Nice,
I remember
nice.
because we're originally from Venezuela, and in South America when it rains, because it's that sort of like rainforest rain, it's
Yeah.
like
It's very tropical. It
it's-
gets very humid.
it's very hot, dude. So
Oh.
when it rains, it's like a party outside because all the kids go outside and play in the rain and stuff, and people like to go to the beach when it's raining. So,
Ooh.
but
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
you know, compared to like London when it rains here, it's like nah.
Life
It's
ends.
Yeah.
Life ends.
Yeah,
we get frozen.
the rain there's it's kind of gloomy and kind of dark there, like the rain. You know, here it's very tropical, so it starts off on the day it's very hot, but I think because of the condensation of the water and everything, when it rains at night, it really rains. It pours.
Have you been to
Mm.
London?
No, I've always wanted to go.
Well, you're welcome
like
to
it.
come anytime. It's a beautiful city, but yeah, I hope you can come in through the summer.
When it's sunny, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully when we can travel again. I really want to go
Yeah.
to London. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to go to the Philippines too, but it's this freaking world.
Yeah, it's hard to travel at the moment, man.
I know. Yeah.
Well, brother, I was by the way, thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you
Like
so
it's awesome to have a chance to speak for a little bit. We've checked out some of your work, and it's some of the most probably some of the most enjoyable we've been able to like check out on the channel and stuff like that. And it's always a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to people like you, especially given like your story and also, I mean, you're one busy guy as well, so you put a lot of work all these years. So again, thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys. And actually, my mom watches a lot of your videos. She loves watching like reactors,
Right.
and she enjoys your videos so much. And when I told her that you guys were going to be interviewing me, she got really excited. And
Aw.
yeah, so yeah, she's out there like listening quietly.
Hello, Mama.
Yeah, they're saying hi. Yeah, she's not camera ready. She's a little camera shy right now, but she says hi to you guys.
Oh,
She's
nice.
she's a big fan.
Oh.
It's the same with her mother. Like her mother sometimes listens to the music that we react to sometimes,
Yeah.
and you can see her just like searching up in her phone or Shazamming it, just so she can find out the artist. And then when we tell
Yeah.
her, we're gonna interview Jason or we're gonna interview, I think another one she like gushed out about was when we had Bugoy on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Bugoy, he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" and that's basically us on the inside right now when we
Yeah.
speak to any of you guys. It's like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is going on?" So how has it happened? But yeah, thanks for coming on. I do want to ask you.
Thank you.
One of the things that always intrigues me, obviously, about the Philippines is just the what would you call it? The natural culture of singing in the country itself, which is very it's a foreign idea to me, because even where we're from in South America or here in the UK, that doesn't happen. It's not so inculcated in the nation, where it seems everyone sings. What was your kind of like upbringing when it comes to music and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, I've been surrounded by a lot of music growing up. I think generally here in the Philippines, we love music so much, and it's integral to our culture, and we love fun, we love life, we love enjoying things, and I think music is one of the ways, if not the main thing, that we express our enjoyment, our fun, and we experience life through music. So I think that's why it's very integral to our culture. And that's why we have a lot of I mean, it might sound frivolous a little bit, but we love karaoke.
Yeah,
We
you do.
love yeah, we love karaoke, and we just it's just really part of the culture. And growing up, I listened to a lot of music. My family is a very musical family. My dad, my uncles would have like they would listen to a lot of vinyl records of like the music from the 70s, so a lot of Motown.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been I really exposed to that kind of music as well. And growing up in the 90s, I watched a lot of MTV.
Yeah.
So I love music videos. I love live performances, and I think that's one of the main reasons why music is such a important, essential part of my life, because I've been exposed to so much of it. And yeah, but actually, when growing up, I wasn't really much of a singer. I mean, I love singing, but I think it was because I was super shy as a kid. Uh, I didn't really express it as much. You know, I didn't really do a lot of singing when I was a kid. I got into singing when I got into college already, like high school and college, because I was able to like, you know, improve my confidence and
Right.
stuff. But music has always been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid.
So how come that how did you discover that you wanted to perform and do the singing as a thing in high school and in college?
Um, I think, uh, like I said earlier, I've always been a huge fan of live performance. So I remember watching like Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl,
Nice.
and it
Iconic.
iconic, literally the
I
very
know.
definition of iconic. Yeah, was when I saw it, it's like because I'm a very I like to think that I'm a very creative person, and I love the idea of I like the process of thinking of an idea and executing
Mm,
it. So
yeah.
Right.
like watching that, I really like I thought to myself like how was he able to come up with such an amazing performance? Like
Yeah.
Mm,
how was the process of like thinking of the idea and collaborating with other people to make that thing happen, to like execute that very iconic performance. So yeah, that's always been like at the back of my mind, creating music and performing and um, uh, like playing instruments and stuff. So, but yeah, I was able to like in the beginning, I was very shy. I was very self conscious about my music, but you know, progressively, I was able to like build my confidence and really start to believe in myself.
I think
that's amazing.
it also comes with time, doesn't it,
Mm,
Jason? It's more like
Yes, absolutely.
one of the things that I think a lot of people underrate is their natural power of time and living in
Hmm.
your own skin for that amount of time, you know.
mm,
So
Yeah,
sometimes it may take 10 years, sometimes it may take, you know, when you're 15, 16, 17, but that time
absolutely.
it does come. And you know, when you're an adolescent, when you're a teenager, it
yeah.
may feel like fuck, like I'm never gonna feel comfortable with who I am, or I might never feel super you know, ready to sing or perform. But as you gradually, as time gradually passes, for some reason, people just become more comfortable with who they are
Yeah.
because I don't think they
Yeah.
realize, you know, this is who I am, this is what I've got. You know,
I just think also the timing situation also comes with taking that first lead, taking that first step into doing something that you might not be comfortable with in the beginning and kind of letting
Hmm.
it marinate with you, you know? Because and
Yeah.
keep growing, keep creating because the more you do it, then the more looser you
yeah, yeah,
become,
yeah.
you know? And I think
Yeah.
it's part of the
Part of the
process.
journey, right?
Yeah, but it's a brave choice though. It's a brave choice to one day decide, you know, I like creating, I'll stick to it, you know, I'll commit to the craft. That's a brave choice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons as well was the encouragement from my mom, especially,
Nice.
Mm,
because like sometimes when you don't believe in yourself, you have other people who believe in you,
yeah.
and I think they're the ones who drive you to really believe in yourself and really pursue your passions. So yeah, when my I think I was 10 years old, my mom enrolled me in like voice lessons.
Nice.
Right.
So I think that's one of the like the eye-opening experiences that I had also, like when I was getting my voice training. It made me realize, and performing as well, made me realize that this is something that I wanted to do. This is something that I want to pursue, and I'm really enjoying this. I feel like when I'm doing music or I'm singing or I'm performing, it doesn't feel like work to me. It
Good.
flows naturally, and yeah, I think it definitely helps if you have people around you who support you and who believe in you.
Yeah, it's really
Absolutely.
that's also another super like because
It's a superpower.
no, and also sometimes again going back to sort of the theme of time, sometimes it also takes some time to actually believe those people why they believe in you so much.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
because you might think, oh, she believes in me because she's my mother. Sometimes we have those conversations with our family. It's like, well, of course, mother and father are gonna believe in us because we're their kids,
Their
Yeah.
parents, yeah.
but they genuinely mean it, and there must be some truth to it, and then to actually internalize that there's so much power, and then coming to that realization. What was the process of you kind of maybe being shy and then going into voice lessons? Because sometimes this is sometimes we get a lot of messages asking parents from all over the world. It's like, my son or my daughter may be a bit shy. I want to encourage them to like go to voice training or vocal, get a vocal coach or theater. How was your process to kind of going in? What was your mentality?
Yeah, I think, yeah, what you said earlier, time really was one of the main catalysts of me finding my own confidence. Because when I remember as a young kid, when people would ask me to sing, I would get like, I would just be, yeah, I would be terrified. And I had extreme like stage fright. I remember one time I was about to sing and I ran off the stage because I couldn't take it. I ran off because I really couldn't take the pressure. It was too much for me. And I realized that maybe at that time I wasn't ready, and I didn't think I haven't developed my skill enough to really show people what I can do.
Yeah.
But I think it really helps that you have people around you who would push you, but not to the point where you get pressured, when like peer pressure.
Yeah, of course.
It has to come from your own, like it has to come from yourself.
I think
Yeah.
no. I just going from your statement. I just think it also comes from a place of genuinity. So like whoever your support
Absolutely.
system, if they're honest, if they're truthful with their with their words, then some of that actually eventually clicks with you, right? So it's that type of, it's surrounding yourself with the right people, with the healthy
Absolutely.
environment that you need to grow creatively. So I agree with that.
Yeah. And I think also when you find the joy in it, I think that's really what dictates and what tells you if this is really the path for you. Because when I got over my stage fright or my shyness, and I performed for the first time where I really enjoyed it, I think that it was so powerful. It made me realize, oh, this is something that I really want to do.
Nice.
Because when I was able to get over that stage fright and that shyness, I realized that it feeds my soul when I see people are happy, and when I see people are enjoying the performance or the music that I'm sharing them. It's so much more than my shyness or my stage fright. So I think realizing that, finding the joy in what I do, is something that really helped me with my confidence.
I totally agree. I think it also comes from, I think, they put in yourself in that miracle territory type of aspect, right? And once I always ask a lot of people, whoever I have the chance to talk to, I always ask, what was the moment that made you realize, that was the rest of your life?
Like
you
the specific performance.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you obviously just said it, right? So, and to me, it's so clear because it's that you finding what freedom feels like. Finally, you're completely free in that moment. So it's a memory worth treasuring.
Do you have like a
Absolutely.
specific performance that you remember when you first felt like
Truly
it's
free.
like, Jesus,
This is me.
what the hell is this? This feels amazing.
Yeah, I think I was 12 or 13. I think I was in high school. One of those like school events.
Yes.
And I think one of my friends heard me like humming in the hallways or stuff. My friend told a friend of a friend that I can carry a tune or I can sing or something like that. And I was still really shy at the time. I didn't feel comfortable sharing my singing yet. But I think one thing led to another, and I didn't really have the chance to back out of that event anymore. I was already confirmed to sing at that event. So yeah, it was like a commencement activity for like the end of the school year.
Right.
And they asked me to sing, and I was shaking, like my knees were shaking. I was so terrified. I was like, my stage fright was like through the roof. But when the song played and then I sang my first line and people started clapping already, people started like applauding already. Wow. I think all of my doubts and my stage fright just went out the window, because this feels nice. This feels like yeah. I mean the applause, the like the genuine joy that they got. Yeah, the genuine happiness that they got from my performance. I was like, okay, I like this. This is something that I wanna do again. So yeah.
It also helps when you find like now alluding back to your point of actually enjoying what you do. I think
Yes.
it also helps with longevity, which is also something you have been one of the few that has been able to achieve to some extent, and it's impressive when a singer is able to sing for an extended period of time, because the music business is fucking ruthless.
It is.
And it's crazy.
Absolutely.
So the fact that then you can always go back to that idea, it's like, this fits my soul, this fits my heart. That's usually enough, to keep you going regardless of however many years or however, many difficulties you find. So definitely enjoyment must be a ginormous part of it.
Absolutely. And I think I still get a little nervous whenever I have to perform. I think that
Jason,
will never go
human.
away.
I would imagine you're human.
Absolutely. So. Yeah. That will never go away. But I think now my mindset is just to embrace the nervousness and just channel that nervousness into excitement. Yes. And because if you're not nervous, it means you don't care. You don't care. Because if you're nervous, it means that you want your performance to be great. You want everything to go as planned. So I think that nervousness is actually quite important if you're gonna do a good performance or a good show. So yeah, it never goes away. But for a while, for a minute there, before I started embracing my singing, I was like extremely nervous. Yeah. But thankfully, I was able to get over my extreme stage fright.
and I think is that having patience and sticking to it, kind of like understanding that in order to get to the really good part, you kind of have to go through this tiny little moment of uncomfortable yes. Feeling, right? So this kind of anxiousness, this nervousness. And I think you're right. I used to have a teacher that used to say to me, if what you love to do doesn't make you nervous, then that's not what you love to do. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to
absolutely
care so much that you put yourself in the most vulnerable position ever, willingly, because you know that you're going to be giving your best.
Absolutely. I agree.
There is one of the most interesting, I think, aspects of your story, Jason, is and not very often do I get the chance to speak about this side of the story. It's we used to be huge fans of like these sort of shows. Like I think 2007, 2006, we had a lot of friends that went to like American Idol. In Venezuela, like singing shows were a big deal. Where we're from in South America, and one of the shows that obviously took the world interest was obviously The Voice, just worldwide. Yes. And not often do you get a chance to actually speak to someone who's been on it and kind of what's the behind the scenes and what's the process, because I think a lot of people also don't know that there's also like an auditioning process prior to even going there. And what was that experience like? What was the whole Voice experience like?
Well, For me personally, when I realized that I wanted to pursue music as a career, uh, it was at the time where really the way to get it or the way to do it was joining reality singing competitions to get your name out there, to get the exposure. Because back in my day, I sound like I'm sounding like I'm aging myself. But back in my day, we didn't. I mean, we didn't really have streaming yet. I mean, we had YouTube, we had those things, but it's not
just,
as prolific. Yeah, it was just
beginning.
starting to. Yes, it was in the beginning stage. It wasn't as prolific as it is now. So we didn't really have that kind of like opportunities back then. So I think one of the main ways was to either like submit your demo tapes to labels or joining reality singing competitions. So I think when I like realized that and I wanted to really pursue a career in music, I decided that I was gonna start auditioning to the shows, the popular singing competition shows at that time. And I, for one, I'm not really I'm not really a competitive kind of person. Yeah. I don't like competition. I hate losing. I'm a sore loser. Yeah, but when I was auditioning, I just wanted, in the beginning, I wanted to just, take in the experience and see what it was like, and like putting my name out there. Maybe I could like meet somebody who can, network myself.
Of course.
But I didn't really have my goal wasn't really winning at the moment, in the beginning. Yeah. I just wanted to gain the experience for myself. But, when I realized that this really was the path for me, I started taking it seriously. Because in the beginning, because I auditioned for a lot of different shows. Nice. So the first one I auditioned was for Got Talent. We had our own version of like Philippines Got Talent here. So I auditioned for that. I didn't get in. What people need to realize also that before you actually get into the show, you have to pre-audition. Yeah. So you have a couple of screenings. Here in the Philippines, what we do is we either go to the malls. The malls have like pre-auditions. So people would line up outside the malls for hours and hours to just pre-audition, and not even like we didn't even have the security of actually getting into the show. Yeah. It's just the first step to actually getting on the show. So I auditioned for 2 seasons of Got Talent. I never got a call back. And then I auditioned for X Factor. Okay. The only one season that we ever had here. But KZ Tandingan was the champion for that.
She's the one that won. Yeah, she won, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And she's a very dear friend of mine. I tell her all the time that thank God I didn't get into X Factor, because I would have been competing with you, and you would have kicked my ass. So yeah, but now we're really good friends, and I'm a big fan of hers.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I auditioned for X Factor. I didn't get in, and then I auditioned for The Voice season 1. I didn't get a call back also for that, and I think to a certain extent, when you get a series of no's, when you get rejected a couple of times, it feels, you can feel defeated, and it feels like maybe this isn't for me, and maybe this is the wrong path this isn't my trajectory in life. So I was about to quit, because at the time when I was auditioning for shows, I quit school. I stopped school for a bit. I said, I'm gonna give myself 2 years. I'm gonna start auditioning for shows, and if I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna go back to school.
Was it? Apologies to interrupt. Is it? You mean by school like university or?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
I was already in college at that time. I was already going to university. I was taking up music. Actually, I was a nice conservatory student.
Nice.
Yeah. So I said to myself, I'm gonna take 2 years off and start auditioning to these shows, trying to make it into the business. But yeah, when I didn't, because I was really looking forward to getting into The Voice, the first season, because I was a huge fan of the show. I watched the US version. I watched the original, the different countries that it was at. So I said, whenever it comes to the Philippines, I'm going to be the first one to audition to that, because I was a huge fan of the show. So I did the thing. I lined up. I went to the network. I did the audition thing. I didn't get a call back, and it was really heartbreaking. I remember like because I got into the second level of the auditions for The Voice for the first season of The Voice, so I was kind of excited for this. Like, oh, this is far. I got farther than some of the previous auditions that I went to. So I was like, okay, maybe this is the one. Maybe this is my time. But like, okay, so I did the second audition, and they said that they were gonna call me back. It's kind of like applying for a job, and
I know.
when the employers tell you that don't call us, we'll call you. They're never gonna call you. So yeah, they never called me. I saw the commercial for the show on TV, and
And you were like, oh,
that was okay.
Didn't make
yeah,
it.
well, I didn't make it. Yeah.
Well,
If that's not confirmation enough, then I don't know what is. So,
that must
yeah,
have been heartbreaking. That must have been heartbreaking because you already had your hopes up, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what happened next?
I was super defeated at that time, and I said to myself, like, if this doesn't go through, I'm not gonna continue. This is gonna be the last time I'm gonna audition. I'm gonna go back to school. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, that didn't happen because the auditions for season 2 happened, and I said, okay, this is the last one. I auditioned for that one. I had to travel for like a remote mall because some of the earlier dates have already been filled up, and I wasn't able to go to them. So I had to travel for like 2 hours to a different city to audition. And I got there. I said to myself, I gotta go there really early so that I can go there in and out. I got there 8 a.m. and I thought I was already early at that time, but the line had already like went around the block 3 times. Whew. So that's how many people were there auditioning for that time. And the Voice is like a huge show, so everybody wanted to get on The Voice.
Yeah.
I auditioned. I started at 8 a.m. Didn't eat anything because I don't like eating before I sing. Yeah. I didn't eat anything. I was in the line for my first screening. I got to sing 6 p.m. already.
Wow.
So I was in line from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Not eating anything, not just staying in the line. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to get out of the line because I might get lost or anything. So yeah, I passed my first screening, and then I had to wait. I had to wait again for my second screening. The second time I got to sing was at 10 p.m. So if you can imagine, I was in line from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m.
No food.
And no food.
Because you're crazy.
I just had like a bottle of water, and for some reason, I was able to survive that.
What the fuck?
It was like I had a fasting journey.
Yeah.
So and then when I got to the first screening, I was able to sing to the second screening. I got the "Don't call us, we'll call you" speech.
Okay.
So I was scared again because I did all of that for nothing. Yeah. And so I went home, forgot about it because it takes months before they actually call you. And I was thinking they're still not calling me. I didn't hear from them. Maybe this is it. Maybe I need to stop. Maybe I need to go back to school. So I did. I went back to school. I enrolled, and on my day of enrollment, like literally on the day of enrollment, after I like paid my tuition and stuff, they texted me.
No way.
And they called me. They said, "Hey, you got it. You made it to The Voice." It's like, are you kidding me? Like I was gonna go back to school. But I finished my term, my semester, and while I was doing The Voice, right. So it worked out. It worked out anyway. But yeah, I don't think people realize that before you get on the show, you're auditioning to get on the show.
Yeah.
And when you get on the show, and then
to some extent,
they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
To some extent, like when it's before the show, where it's like some of the hardest battles.
I agree.
When you're on the show, it's obviously still difficult, and now the pressure is on as a different type of pressure. But perhaps it's even more enjoyable. There's cameras around, you're around celebrities, you're finally feel like you're working towards something,
Yep.
But it's the battle prior to that one that you're like in the middle of, you're in no man's land, you're in the middle of nowhere, and you're putting all your eggs in one basket. So it's so cool to hear the stories before, because we've had mates and friends. Wally had a vocal coach who she went to audition to American Idol, was it?
No, he
No,
runs it.
in Venezuela. What was
Oh
her name?
yeah, yeah. She traveled to from Venezuela to Argentina, to audition for the voice. No, the Latin American Idol.
Ah, that's it. Jennifer Lopez was like one of the judges for some reason.
Yeah. So
Ooh, okay.
yeah, it was a huge deal. So they used to travel around the whole of the southern part of the continent, so all of Latin America, and they would audition in every country. But she missed out on the dates that they were auditioning in Venezuela. So she bought a ticket and flew all the way down to Argentina to audition. And obviously, you know the story. You know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, pre-auditions, pre-screening, and absolutely nothing back.
Yeah, and when she came back and she was telling us the stories, I was like, "What the? I didn't like it."
It's like, he didn't go to TV.
Yeah, it's like because a lot of people like genuinely think that's like that was your first.
That's right.
And it's like, nah, dog. That this for you to get this, like this guy had been in the ring for like 12 rounds. You know?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't think a lot of people realize that before you can actually even just a little scene of you from the camera, like to be seen on the show itself, like you have to be casted. It's a very rigorous casting process. So
yeah, absolutely.
So if you really, if it's really in your heart to do it, or like to audition for shows like that, you really have to be ready to really do the grind before you can actually get to the show.
I think it's a mental training. It's mentally taxing, right? More than it is about the talent and your skill set. I think it's to do with the mental training. It's very like the auditioning process overall in the industry. It's taxing, it's long, it's tiring, and it's a constant defeat. In you see it here in the West End, you see it here in the music industry overall, in the dancer industry. I mean, it's constant, it's moving really fast, and you have to always be on top of it. And it's difficult because it's more the times that you get rejected than the times that you actually get hired. So it's a mental battle more than it is about your skill set. So it's really cool to hear, to hear your story and hear your experiences through it from a completely different point of view, which is, reality TV, from taking your everyday people and making them into stars. The whole concept is such a dream, isn't it? Like anyone could do it, right? That's the whole.
Absolutely.
That's the dream they sell you.
But the secret is no fucking anyone can do it. It requires a special. I'm serious.
It requires a special individual.
Absolutely.
It's that both that mental and then the skill set obviously has to be there. But then it's also being able to just withstand long enough, even for the pre-auditioning period and stuff like that. So
yeah. And there's also a little bit of luck in there. Yeah, the stars have to align for you as well, because I know a lot of amazingly talented singers, like ridiculously talented singers. Sometimes some I'm a huge fan of, and I would consider even better than me. Like their talent is just out of this world, but they just never got the chance to make it all the way. And that doesn't take away from their talent. It's just maybe it's not their time, and maybe just luck wasn't on their side, and maybe God has different plans for them or something.
Absolutely. I think it's
so ruthless, dude.
It's also about persevering, though. I think that the whole, because it is like that. Sometimes life hits you with the nose and you're like questioning your whole entire life, right? So is this the right path? Is this what I'm actually meant to be doing? And is the perseverance, is the sticking to it, is the okay, maybe not this show, but I'll try next one, and we'll stick to that, but
may I ask, because I think when you actually got to TV and you had the first audition on TV, I think it was Sarah, right?
Yes.
Geronimo, who I don't understand too much the premise of the show. Is like she coached you, right?
Yeah.
Even though you might have had other coaches behind the scenes, but she's like your main coach, I guess.
Yeah. When you get into the show, so you audition the first audition. They call the blind auditions.
Right.
So like all of the coaches are turned, on their
Around,
backs to you, so they only hear you singing. And they have to like press their little chairs to turn if they want you on their team.
Yeah.
So I got 3 chair turns, and one of them was Sarah, which I was like super thankful that she turned for me because I really wanted her to be my coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
because she's amazing. I'm a huge fan of her.
Right.
So, but going into my blind auditions, I the only thought that was in my mind was at least one. If I could only get one, one coach to turn for me, because I feel like all of my my pre-auditions and my waiting and my struggling would have been all for nothing if nobody turned for me. So that was like going into my mindset was like, if I can only have one person to turn for me, and I got 3. So I was very, very thankful for that. And one of them was Sarah. So I was really excited about that. So yeah, Sarah was my coach during The Voice, and we would, every time I would perform, we would sit down and we would discuss the song choice or the song I was going to perform that week. And, because she's a performer as well, so we would have like moments of like how I would perform this song, how I would move on stage, or like or how I would change the arrangements of the song to make it different, to make it sound new. So yeah, I'm very thankful that she's my coach during The Voice.
That is so bizarre, right? It's like being like an admirer, someone like, wow, I look up to you, and then having the chance to like work with that must have been fucking unbelievable.
Absolutely. And the wisdom, the things that she was able to impart in me, the things that she experienced, and just listening to her, hearing about her story and how she's just so wise beyond her years, and the things that she was able to teach me, it's priceless. I couldn't have gotten it from anywhere else. So
dude, that woman ages
backwards.
What the fuck, dude?
She still looks the same. She's like, yeah.
The other day I saw a video that the viewer sent me of her in her first ever concert. Apparently she was like 16, and I was convinced it was like 2 days ago. Like if it wasn't for the video quality, I wouldn't have been able to tell, right? Because the quality of the performance, the quality of her vocals, and the way she looked, I was
special,
like, what?
Still the same. And she only has gotten better with time, but her she has never aged. And just trivia for you guys, really just a testament to the stars aligning, because Sarah came from a singing competition as well.
Yeah.
She won Star for a Night, which is like a competition back in the day. She was the first champion of that show, and I think I would consider her like the first like huge champion here in the Philippines. Like she was the first one to really like became an actual superstar after winning her competition. And fun fact, I won March the 1st, 2015. She won on March the 1st also during her time.
Wow.
So we both won on the 1st of March, which I think is just totally unbelievable. Like that can be, it's like the I don't know if it's coincidence or like luck or whatever, but yeah, really all I can think of is like the stars really did align for me at that time.
Why don't we do something a bit of fun? Yeah. Why don't we watch your first audition? I know it's like a short one. Is there? I think you sang "Stay with Me."
Yes, I did.
Why don't we watch like a bit of it, and then you can tell us maybe like your thoughts or why you chose that song and what happened behind the scenes and what goes on after. And
yeah, sure, of course.
Sorry, there's something playing.
Really?
There's like 2 devices connected. wait a second.
Just do this.
It's definitely your phone.
that was my voice on the speaker.
Isn't it weird to listen to yourself back?
Nice. Oh yeah, do you find that weird when you
hate it? I don't like watching myself. So this is torture for me, guys. But for you, I'm gonna do it.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
I just thought it'd be really cool to let people into, what actually was happening from your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely.
That is so funny because
I actually hate it.
most singers, dude, are this like they're all like
I
that.
can't stand it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm so critical of myself, and whenever I hear any recording of myself or like my
Like,
past performances, I just cringe because that sounds horrible, or
I know
I should
the
have
worst.
done this, or yeah.
I
hate
know
it.
the worst is when you're like, why didn't what? You're still doing it.
How is that, dude?
It's a weird way. I think maybe it has like a different tab or something.
What the hell? Where's
Oh,
my
it's
Is that
voice?
like a previous recording of you guys? That's
Yeah.
playing.
Somehow it's playing on the speakers too. You know what's weird though when you're watching
Hold on,
yourself
I'm
back.
gonna find my phone. Wait a second.
The weird thing is when you're watching yourself back and then you're like, why did I wear that or why did I do that with my hand, or it's so strange.
Why did I make that choice? Why did I
Yeah.
sing this part like that? And that sounds so
Absolutely.
pitchy.
Oh,
But
why was
yeah.
I flat when I know I had to take a breath before it? I know I hate it too. It's the worst.
Yeah.
But
But it means that you care about
Absolutely.
improving yourself and
you're in that
bettering your
constant-
performances.
you're in that constant chase of always trying to be better. So I think
Absolutely.
it's that whole idea
Oh bloody hell!
still happening.
What the fuck, dude? What is this? What if we
What
close
is
it?
it? Wait, I'm so sorry. That's never happened before.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's like we usually have like father as our what would you call him, Mr. Producer. But,
He's not
okay.
here with us
but
today.
he's he's an actual grown up and he works.
unlike us.
I think I sorted it out. But yeah, dude, it's so funny when like sometimes we speak to like other singers and they're all the same. They're always like another one that is like people are a bit like this, that they don't like listening to themselves back. It's like comedians.
Oh, yeah.
Comedians
Hmm.
hate it, dude. It's like
Yeah.
most comedians, they can't even stand looking at like one of their routines or jokes. It's like, oh, take it off.
Take it off.
Yeah, it makes you cringe. I actually did a reaction video to my blind auditions on my YouTube channel, and I couldn't get past through. It's so cringy. I hate watching myself. It's like, oh, why did I make that choice? Why am I so sharp in here? But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's nice to look back also, like how far you've come and
Absolutely.
how much you've improved. Yeah.
Oh, we'll link to your original reaction.
Yeah,
so
we'll
people
put
can
it. We'll put it
have
in
a
the
look at that as well,
description.
and then we'll
Thanks.
have a joint reaction as well. I really love watching, this because I mean I would say I think you're like a mixture of genres, and that I think that's why I really enjoy your work.
It's so rich. It's so beautifully refined.
So it's seeing sort of the evolution now with you being part of it. It's gonna be fucking unbelievable. So this is an unbelievable experience to me, mate. So thanks, God.
Thank you.
You see it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing though. Oh, she's like so good.
And you can't see like their reaction, can you?
No.
Like there's no monitors, there's nothing.
Absolutely not. The first time I saw the reactions was like
When you
everybody
saw
else
it.
when it aired on TV. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Is that your mom?
That's my mom. Yeah.
Man, I would have turned right there. That's me turning. That is fantastic. Come on, lad. You know you want to.
That's actually another person who kind of ages backwards as well, which is very odd. Though,
Leia.
in the Philippines. Leia doesn't age.
Absolutely. She's still. I think she's aging backwards. She looks even younger now than she did back
Actually,
then.
to be fair, mate, you also, I think you look exactly the same.
Yeah. What is on your water? Maybe it's the rain out there.
Probably. I think it's the weather.
Yes, I knew it. She was so close.
Who's the person in the? This your mom. Who is the host?
Yeah, that's Tony. Tony Gonzaga. She's the host of The Voice.
Right. Thanks. I've always had that question because we've checked out like a few like auditions. And I'm like, what's the name of that lady?
Yeah, Tony Gonzaga.
I know, it's great. I love how they're freaking out.
Good looking lad.
All right, no,
Yeah.
okay, no, I gotta ask, what was going through your head when you saw them do that?
You know, everything went by so fast. Like I couldn't wrap my mind around what was happening. So I was just focused on like singing the song. I was just focused on not messing up. But when it felt so surreal, like it felt like everything was just it was just so surreal. It felt like a Dali painting or something. Like yeah, like going into the stage itself, I was already shaking. I went back to the young Jason D running off the stage. I had a fight or flight reflexes in me, response. Yeah, so I was like, but I'm here already. I mean, I can't back out now, so I might as well just do this. But I remember like my knees were shaking so much. Like I just, but what really helped me was I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but in the beginning I said hi to one of my friends at the side of the stage. So she really was she was able to calm me down because I was like super nervous. But when I saw like a familiar face in there, I was like, okay, I'm good. She's there. I know someone here. So yeah, but my knees were shaking. Well, as soon as I saw Sarah and Apple the App from the Black Eyed Peas, I was like, okay, I'm good. I can relax now. I can chill because I already had someone who turned for me. So that was like one checklist already. So like after that, I was able to like loosen up a bit, and I was able to calm down. I was able to like do the riffs and runs that I practiced the night before. Yeah.
What's like the crowd number? Do you know in the studio? Is it like
it was very intimate. There's not like a lot of people there. Probably like 200, 300 people.
Yeah, because
I think they were spread out.
Because I think it also given the lighting and stuff, it makes it look so intimate. You know, it makes it look so like personal. So fuck, the nerves must be through the roof. But let's keep going.
Absolutely.
Yay!
Those were my friends. The one they saw. The one they showed.
Okay. Oh my god! I know. I love them. Oh, come on.
Well, the interesting thing about the I think the show though, it's that obviously I know it's called The Voice, no pun intended here, but one of the most interesting things about the show, I feel, it's you can actually allow the singer to showcase vocal intricacies better than in other shows because there's no element of fireworks or gimmick going around in the show. It's a more sort of centralized show. So for that, I think The Voice, the premise of the show, deserves a lot of credit for that because it's
absolutely,
it allows the performer to actually sing and not just focus on performing for once, you know?
Yeah.
By the way,
absolutely. That's right.
That last riff that ended everybody's lives right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what happened after this?
I think just go and
Okay, let me see.
Oh man! Also, at the end.
Right. So what happened after that?
Yeah. So when I got three chair turns, I was like, okay, it was all worth it. You know, just I had like a flashback of all of the times I was in line for millions of hours, and you know all of the struggles paid off, and finally I think this might go somewhere. So yeah, and then in the moment I was just able to enjoy the whole experience because going into it I was like super nervous, but after that I was just able to take it all in, and I didn't hear the sound effects though. That was like in post already, so I didn't hear the I didn't hear all that because if you can see, I was like closing my eyes, just internalizing the song. When I opened my eyes, two people already had turned for me.
Wow.
So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm good. And yeah, after that, there's this whole bit of me serenading Sarah. Like I sang to her directly. I don't know if it's online anymore, but it aired during the show because before I started auditioning for shows, I had a job as a kind of like a singing telegram job.
Right. Like a mariachi stuff. Like people send like love songs to each other for birthdays and stuff, don't they?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah. It's very popular in South America too.
You used to do that?
Oh, I used to do that. Yeah, that was when I was going to university. That was my part-time job.
Hey, how many babies are you responsible for on your behalf or marriages?
A lot, I bet. I'm a godfather to a lot of babies, I'm sure. But yeah, that was my job, and before I started auditioning for those shows. I think that's one of the reasons as well that I was able to overcome my shyness, because you're performing in front of everybody, like in the public. You have no choice but to sing. So I think that really helped with my confidence as well. But yeah, when I auditioned, they asked for interesting stuff about you and things that they can show on the show. So I talked to them about that before I started auditioning, I was doing this singing telegram job, and they wanted to feature that on the show.
Nice.
So I think the host or one of the writers told actually one of the coaches asked me what my job was. So I told them that I was a singing telegram singer. We call it haranista. Haranista. So because the tradition is like harana, the tradition of harana is like serenading and singing to your loved one.
Aww.
So yeah, so I told them that story, and they asked me to do a little demonstration for them, so how I would do it. So I sang to Sarah directly, and I was like, this is how I would do it. And, hi, I was sent here by your so and so, and I'm here to dedicate the song for you, and I hope you like it. So I sang to her.
What did you sing
yeah,
to her?
that was a whole bit. I did All of Me by John Legend.
Bloody hell.
Great.
Yeah.
I bet she was totally. I was totally touched.
Not gonna lie, Jason. No wonder Sarah chose you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you had to choose, right? So
yeah, I chose Sarah.
But you had already made up your mind even
Before
straight
the show,
away,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, going into it, I was dead set on having Sarah as my coach.
Well,
so yeah.
Go on, no, so apologies, go on.
Yeah, so after that whole bit of like serenading her and stuff, they asked me, I think it was Leo, asked me, so who do you want to be as your coach? And then, a little build up, and you can see the writers at the side, like doing the hand signal. Don't say it. We're trying to build up the suspense and the momentum. So when one of the writers gave me the go signal, I was like, I chose Sarah, and I can feel that they were kind of they were surprised. They were kind of shocked why I chose Sarah, because they were thinking that I was gonna go with Apple, thinking because R&B, and it would make sense for me to collaborate with to work with Apple the App, who's part of Black Eyed Peas. Yeah. So, but yeah, it all worked out in the end. I was so happy. I was just ecstatic. I was over the moon with the whole experience, and it just felt like it just went by. Like I wanted to do it again after it was done.
Yeah. Just a question. Well, after you've done your whole experience in The Voice and the show comes to an end and everything, what was then your approach to music and performing? What was the natural response from the people around you? Because that's also something that people don't talk about often. What happens after the show is done? So tell me a little bit about that.
How long was the recording time? Like the recording period?
For the season.
We shot the video we just watched in September, I think, September of 2014, and it aired in December So a couple of months.
Right.
But during those leading up to the airing, we already shot a couple of episodes also. So we did the
course.
battle episode and the knockouts episode. And then once the blind auditions aired, when all of the previous episodes were aired already, then we started doing live shows.
Live, right.
So every week we would perform, and everyone one by one we would people would get voted off. So yeah, and we ended up in March, the finale, the March the 1st. So September 2014 to March 2015.
So it's an intensive, nearly 6-month period. You know, it's like
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Absolutely.
So go on. Going back to Bala's question, it's sort of the 6 months pass, and now that maybe your frame of mind has shifted. Obviously, your life has changed. You know, you're
Absolutely.
now a season 2 The Voice winner. Everybody fucking knows your name in the Philippines, and it's what's the next?
What
the
happens
step?
next?
It was very overwhelming, I would say. I think I wasn't. Nobody really prepares you for what happens after. So it was really like I was just taking it day by day and just taking it all in, and like going through the motions and like learning different things about the industry and of the business. And I think that's one of the first things that I learned when I got off The Voice was this is also a business. This is not just for entertainment. This is not just singing. You're gonna have to be a businessman as well. You're gonna have to navigate the world. You have to navigate the music industry, and you have to learn to trust certain people and not trust certain people, because not everybody's gonna be, behind you, or not everyone's got your back.
That's right.
So it really was a learning process for me. But there are also like amazing opportunities that I've gotten since winning The Voice. Of course, being able to make my own music and collaborating with amazing singers. Some of the guys that some of your guests that you've had here on your podcast. Watching them, I was a huge fan of them before meeting them, and it's just sometimes it makes me realize that, wow, I was just watching you. I was just listening to your music, and now I'm here performing with you and collaborating with you and sharing the same stage with you. I remember listening to a lot of JR and listening to a lot of Kayla, and they're really the ones that inspired me to do R&B and sing R&B. So like being in a group with them in soul sessions and collaborating with JR on Gusto Ko Pa, it's like it's really surreal, and it's until now, sometimes I would have like moments of, wow, did that really happen? Like, is this really happening for real? But I'm just really thankful for all of the amazing opportunities that I've gotten after winning The Voice. And I think, of course, the supporters that you get, the fans that you get. Sometimes you don't really realize that there are people out there who listen to you and are inspired by your music. I've had people who come up to me and said that your songs really, some of them, like, they would say that they've saved my life. And that's it's so I don't even know what the words to
real, dude.
It.
That's like
that's real.
It's like, that's raw.
It's raw. Absolutely. I think it's just it gives me a sense of purpose. It makes me realize that, okay, the songs that I've been making and my music and my performing and my singing has a positive effect on people. And I think that gives me the motivation to keep doing what I'm doing. So the people that I meet, the people that I'm able to touch, people that I'm able to inspire, and up and coming artists who say that they're inspired by me and they pursued music because of me, and they saw me on The Voice and they saw my journey and they hear my music, and it also made them want to pursue music. So those are the moments that really made me really thankful and grateful for my The Voice journey.
Yeah, those are the stories that never get told, and it's such an eye-opening moment, because a lot of people kind of like forget that you're still human. You're still the same Jason that was queuing for hours on end that day, 2 hour
Absolutely.
journey, right? So you're still the same guy who's evolved, who's taken the whole experience differently, who's helped you in your craft, but you're still the same person. So it's really interesting to see, of course, hear the stories of what it's like to meet the people that you were inspired by, make music with those that helped you create in a moment in your life, right? So those stories are inspiring on its own,
I
so
think it also applies to
Absolutely.
like everyone as well, Jason. It's like, probably the same was to Sarah, and now that we've had the awesome privilege to speak to people like like Jaya and Kayla, it's like I think people also forget that they're also people, and that you're
yeah.
also a person.
Yeah.
And it's like when someone sends you a message or tells you, it's like, dude, you changed my life. Your song changed my life,
Yeah.
or I went and saw you live, and you made me realize that maybe I'm in the wrong career, and I want to pursue music. It's like, just think a normal person on the street, and you're not famous or anything, just says that to you. How would you react? It's the
Yeah.
same thing. It's like, what in
Absolutely.
the planet? But that's truly
Yeah.
when you realize it's like the magnitude of everything
Yeah.
that you've accomplished, and it's
Yes.
bizarre.
It's really cool
Absolutely.
though. What was it so far, like in your career so far? What has been a performance that marked you and will stay with you for the rest of your life?
When after you turn
After,
professional,
yeah,
let's say.
outside of the voice, that you will treasure that moment for the rest of your life.
Like probably from the top of my mind, right after I won The Voice, I came home to my hometown of Butuan,
Utuan.
Butuan.
and Butuan, yeah, it's a city in the south of the Philippines, super far from Manila. You have to take a plane,
Really?
and
Wow.
yeah, you have to fly all the way to Butuan to get there. So I did a homecoming concert, and it's such a like a full circle moment because the venue that I performed at was the venue that I grew up in, and that I did the performance that I told you guys earlier when I
All
was young.
right.
Yeah, so
What
uh,
the?
yes,
Yeah.
because back in my younger years, our school had a like a gymnasium, like a huge event air center. Like the gym was where all of the big events happened there,
Right.
and that was where I performed for the first time and realized that, oh, this is what I want to do. Then cut to years and years after, that was the same venue that I did my homecoming concert in, and it's just like a full circle moment. It just warms my soul just thinking about it because
Oh,
like even before the concert, we did a like a promotional tour to promote the concert and stuff. So I went to different radio stations, and I went to I went to a mall where they did like because we have this thing called mall shows.
yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
would do like performances at the malls,
Yes, same
and
in
that's like,
Venezuela.
oh, okay, yeah. So we I did a mall show in one of the bigger malls in my city, and I just I can't believe, like, thinking about it now just gives me chills. But I was able to, like, the people that came to the show was like, I would say like thousands in the mall, and like people were wall to wall. People were standing, yeah, people were standing in. They had to turn off the escalators because people were standing there to watch me perform.
Wow.
So like, I was just so overwhelmed by all of you know all of the love that I heard. People came from like neighboring cities wanting to see me, and some of them like had to travel a couple of hours just to watch my performances. So it's like,
Wow.
I can't believe like all of the support I'm getting, and I'm just really thankful for everyone who came at that event. And yeah, so I did the mall show, a lot of them were the same people who went to the actual concert. So I could not believe I was able to like fill the entire capacity of the event, and I was able to I was able to fill the entire venue, the capacity of the gym, and
Sold out.
I'm not sure if it's real, but they said that it was only a couple of us who was able to do that. And so I was really, really just, it warms my heart, makes me.
I would take that. I would take that. I don't care if the others. You did it.
I believe it. I believe it.
You did it.
Dude,
That's freaking nuts.
that's madness. Bro.
Well,
you know what? You know as well. It's like, sorry to interrupt.
No,
man.
go ahead.
It's like, we were just talking about sometimes how stars align themselves, and maybe it's some people call it luck, some other people call it
serendipity.
yeah, science or coincidence. Other people call it faith, and it's like it whatever it's called. It's so like I don't know. Just listening to it, it has an effect on you. That it's like maybe dreams sometimes they are possible. It's like sometimes you can be the hero of your own story. And
absolutely,
maybe sometimes it isn't like the movies, where everything goes well and in a space of 2 hours you change the world and save the world. But it takes longer and it's harder, and the times of darkness are really dark, and the times of brightness and shine are really bright, and sometimes that even blinds you.
yes,
but it's
absolutely,
it's truly it's a remarkable thing. Like, it's a remarkable feat to even be able to hear it. It's hard to find the words to how to explain or what my brain is trying to process. It's bizarre, dude. It's really odd. There is something I wanted to ask, and I was just listening to your song. I think we dropped the reaction.
Yeah, we dropped it
Gusto
yesterday.
Copa.
Gusto Kopa.
This thing is one of my favorite songs of yours.
God,
Thank
it's
you, man. Thank you.
fantastic.
I really like it. It's
Thank
very
you
recent.
so
Right?
much.
Came out 2020. I think it came out.
Yeah, it came out last year. I actually watched your reaction video earlier before we recorded.
We
I
totally
really
lost our
appreciate.
minds.
I
It was
appreciate the all of the things that you said in the video, and I appreciate Efra trying to learn Tagalog through my song.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it's really interesting though, because the Tagalog language on its own and Spanish, they kind of like align somewhere in the middle.
Yes.
So they they want to understand it. It's actually really palpable for the both of us. Sometimes we're watching or we're listening to songs in Tagalog here at home off camera, and I'm like, dude, I kind of feel like this is what he says, and he will look up at the lyrics and he's like, actually it says this. So it's really cool though.
Vale, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but Vale's like working on another cover of a song that involves a bit of Tagalog, and she's done a song where it has Tagalog, like Paubaya, so she can kind of pronounce this stuff, but I can't do it. I'm completely clueless. So every time I hear a word that I'm like, like
familiar.
Yeah, it's like, I want to repeat that. You know what I mean? Because it's so weird because. And even the cultures, like in Venezuela, in South America, like the Latin culture is, even though the Philippines is so bloody far away, there's so many similarities. But one of the things that is, and I mentioned at the beginning, that is very foreign, is this approach to a culture of singing in Venezuela and in Latin America. And it isn't like that. It's more a culture of dancing, but not of singing. As you guys have your karaoke's, we have literally just get-togethers where you don't sing, you dance, and you get fucked up and drunk, but you dance. And I guess in the Philippines is more you get drunk, but you sing. So
or we get drunk and sing.
Okay.
Also true. But all the process is food, drinking, dancing, drink, food, and again dancing. But I suppose but the similarities in cultures it's so refreshing. It feels. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching things that resonate so deep within my roots. So like the love for your culture and the music and the craft and everything you do, it's so genuine.
It's really odd,
it's
dude.
It's
really
honest.
Odd because the whole point of the podcast, like Feature Friday, it's to find out music from all over the world. It's like a couple of weeks ago we were doing Morocco. A few weeks before that we were doing like an Arabic special, and one of the most interesting influences that we like is in Spanish music. There's a lot of Arab influence, in flamenco and things like that. So discovering music through the podcast has been an honor. But one of the few industries that has really captivated us, I'd say, is probably the Filipino one, definitely the South Korean one, definitely French one. The Brazilian one has really, really touched us, and it's probably one of the most popular ones in our house, same as the French one. But it's been really odd that we've discovered like I guess a group, a country that resonates so closely to us, and we haven't even visited it yet. It's really weird, dude. Like it's bizarre. It doesn't make any sense in my head.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we share a lot of culture, especially with the language. As you said, I like to believe that our languages are like sister languages, and we're like because we share a lot of same words that mean the same.
Yep.
And we also have like the same words that mean totally different. I don't know, it got lost in translation in some way, but but yeah. And I think in general, music is transcendent. It transcends location. It transcends language. And sometimes you listen to a song, you have no idea what it means, but it makes you feel something. And it's universal with music. Same with like when you listen to international music, like here in the Philippines, K-pop is huge. Yeah, and everywhere else in the world, it's huge. But
it's getting bigger around the world.
Yeah, we don't speak Korean, but we appreciate the music, and it makes us happy. It makes us feel things, and it's really amazing the power of music. Like you don't have to necessarily understand what they're saying, but you can feel the emotion, and you know what they're trying to say, even if you don't understand what they're actually saying.
Can you please think about doing a song in Spanish, mate? I think you have the perfect voice to do a song.
I would. I would love to. I would love to. I love learning new languages, so hopefully, when I get the time, I would love to learn Spanish as well. Because I think for us, I think it's easier to learn. Because
I would think so. Yeah.
It's a piece of cake.
Super close.
It is so close. And if you think of it as in like phonetics, not actually learning the language, but replicating phonetics, and just for the sake of the song, you guys are winning, like 100%. It would be so much easier than you think it is.
We've seen like Inigo Pascual do it. It's really fucking easy for him.
Oh we've seen Sarah Geronimo's done it a couple of times.
Piece of cake for her.
She sang in Spanish a few times, and I'm like, girl, you're literally Latina. Stop. Martin Nievera?
Dude, Martin Nievera sounds like he's from Mexico, bro. It's like when he speaks in Spanish, because he sang, I don't know what he did, like a video where he sang
he sang a Spanish verse of his own song.
Oh
yeah,
right.
So that's what he was.
Oh, okay.
It's in the channel somewhere. I'll send it to you. It's just
amazing.
Nuts, man. We were listening to it, and I was like, yeah, this is the childhood voices we grew up with. We've never heard Martin before, but this is it.
So that would be my one and only petition to you, Jason. Please, just I don't know, do a cover or something in Spanish. I would bow down to it.
Yeah, definitely. I would look into that. There's this song. If you remember, Beyonce did an album. I think this was her second solo album. She did a collaboration with a Spanish.
Shakira. Yeah.
No, it was a guy. Amor Gitano.
Amor Gitano.
Amor Gitano.
Oh, wait a second. Yes, I think I know.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Is that with Prince Royce?
No.
So I kind of know the if I can Google the
lyrics.
The lyrics a little bit. So
Beyonce.
I mean, you don't have to sing it now. I know you guys like in the Philippines. Sometimes I watch some of your shows, and then they always make some of you guys sing in the show. I don't know why.
No, here's the thing though. Beyonce collaborated with one of the most iconic voices of the freaking Latin America with Alejandro Fernandez. And this was
Alejandro Fernandez, yeah.
And their cover, like their version of Amor Gitano, which is actually because the original is really romantic. It's very bolero like style.
Oh, okay.
It's so, and it's more about, it's kind of like Spanish from Spain, like a bit of flamenco edge to the guitar.
It's more Hispanic than Latin American.
It is. So so Beyonce jumps on it, and it makes a whole R&B thing, new fusion, and it becomes super popular. But no, that's a sick song. That's a great song.
That might be a good one. I don't know. I actually haven't heard that one by Beyonce.
It's
is that like a classic? Is that like a classic Mexican song that they did a cover of?
I think it's a Spanish song
from Spain.
Yeah.
Oh, Spanish. Okay.
Yeah. And I think Alejandro Fernandez made a bolero version of it.
So more Mexican.
and then
Okay.
Beyonce jumped on the whole style. But that is a really cool album. I love that album from Beyonce. That's a
Yeah,
great
I
album.
think that's the extent of my Spanish speaking music language. But I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, I
I'll send
think
you some stuff. I'll send you some stuff that I think you're gonna kill, and you can
awesome,
choose.
awesome. Looking forward to that.
Just to finish off, Jason, now that we're talking about music, what is on your playlist? What type of music do you listen to?
I listen
Right
to
now.
like a lot of different things. A lot, no, mainly a lot of R&B, a lot of pop.
Nice. I think that's why
I
we get along.
love. I listen to a lot of early 2000s R&B because
Yeah.
that's the one that I grew up listening to that. I think
Elite.
that's also I think that's what also like inspired me to do R&B because I was exposed to a lot of Usher, a lot
Nice.
of who else do I love? Well, of course the greats, the classics. You have Stevie Wonder and you have Michael Jackson, and I grew up also at the time where there was a lot of neo soul, so it's a lot of Maxwell and a lot of Erica Badu and Lauryn Hill at that time. So I listened to a
Yeah,
lot of
true.
that. Right now, I like a lot of what The Weeknd is doing. A lot of 80s throwback music.
Sort of electro pop
Uh,
type of thing.
yeah, absolutely. If you, yeah, you've heard of Gusto Ko Pa. I try to incorporate a lot of different things into the song. So like, there's a lot of electronica in there as well, and there's a little bit of the classic R&B. But how I attacked it was a little bit of a ballad also in there a little
Uh-huh.
bit. So it's
Mhm.
like an amalgamation of different kinds of music and different things that I'm inspired by. And I actually worked with JR on the song. He arranged the instrumental.
Nice.
So yeah,
He's a boss.
I just wanted to experiment. Absolutely, he's the goat, the
I
king
know.
of
It's
R&B.
awesome.
So yeah, yeah, I'm inspired by. I listen to a lot of different music. I listen to Bjork.
Oh my god, I
Um,
love her stuff too. She's so weird. I
yeah,
love it.
all right. So it's so weird, but it sounds so good.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, The Weeknd and who else? It's just a lot of different things. I like expanding my musical horizons and just try listening to different kinds of music. But right now, I just listen to a lot of throwback songs. So a lot of from the early 2000s, the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So then that makes a lot of sense then, especially in Gusto Copa,
Kopa.
Copa,
Kopa.
where yeah, I think we even mentioned it's like it's such a fusion of things, and I think just naturally in your music now it makes even more sense knowing what you like to listen to. There is such a it's hard to pin you down in one genre, dude.
You
It's
can't.
like you do music. You don't just do like R&B or just ballads or it's such a nice, as you said, amalgamation of yeah, combination of things. And maybe, I mean, I don't know if you're working on anything now, and please don't spoil anything, but what's the future for Jason D?
Yeah, well, actually, Gusto Ko Pa is part of an EP that I'm coming out with.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm still working on the other songs on the EP. So I'm working with a lot of different artists as well, different collaborators, different songwriters. So Gusto Ko Pa is just a little glimpse, a little teaser of what's to come. So so yeah, working on a lot of music right now. Given the situation of the world right now, it's kind of hard to do anything, but
Yeah.
we're trying. We're trying to finish the EP hopefully soon. But yeah, you can definitely anticipate a lot more music from me
Yay.
hopefully, and yeah, excited for the EP to come out once I finish all of the other songs.
Nice.
So,
It's
yeah, and
not
I'm still writing the songs. So
nice.
it's still an ongoing process. Yeah.
So it's all written by you, or maybe you're collaborating with other writers in specific songs, but you're mainly writing a lot of the songs.
Yeah, I really wanted this project to be mostly songs that I've written or songs that I co-wrote with other songwriters. So
Very
Right,
nice.
just before we go, just I want to ask, Is
Well, actually, I
Gusto?
don't want to go, but
Me neither.
fuck.
Me neither. We're gonna keep saying before we go.
But I know you're a busy man, so I do apologize.
But yeah. So the writing process for Gusto Kopa, because obviously that's a song that I've just heard literally yesterday, and I downloaded it. I'm like playing it on repeat. The whole aspect of the heartbreak with the nostalgia and like the touch of R&B with the pop side of it. Your vocals are just divine. So, well, how was the writing process of that?
I actually wrote the song during the pandemic already. I think we're a couple months in, and no, I'm confusing it from a different song. No, I actually wrote the song a couple of years before. Time is just, I don't know.
So we're constant right now.
Time is a myth right now.
You find it because ever since the lockdowns and stuff like that, that just time has actually worked differently.
I totally.
Like, it just
absolutely. It's like time just warped, like right in front of our eyes. Like I don't even think like the past year and a half just happened. It felt like, but I mean now we're just a couple of months in to 2020 being 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't make sense to me. Like it just happened yesterday.
Whoa, dude.
It is. So it's wild. Yeah. The other day I had my first gig outside like a rock festival last weekend, and
was that the first festival you did?
Yeah, that was the first festival we've done in 2 years, and I was like, that is wild. I can't believe 2 years went by and I didn't even see that.
And it looked so weird. It was like 2,000 people together, and it was like, people do this?
Like, people get together?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt your train of thought, but
yeah, no, I'm remembering. I did write the song before the pandemic. I think it was in 2019. I wrote the song when, one of those like sleepless nights and just a burst of creativity, and I couldn't sleep. I just whipped out my guitar and start playing and just start writing down stuff. And I actually saw a post on Instagram. It's like one of those like, quotes. Yeah, one of those like words and stuff, and had a little bit of art in the bottom and stuff. And it said, I'd set myself on fire just to keep you warm. So that's like, so that's kind of like the whole, like the thesis of the song, like the catalyst.
Because there's a whole theme of, and that was so impressive about the lyrics, and I really thanks the person who translated the lyrics into English as well. But because there was a theme of, even though I know I'm going to get hurt, I'm willing to get hurt by you.
Yeah.
And for you, right? So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the message of the song, which I personally believe is very toxic. Don't follow whatever is in the song. It's a cautionary tale. I always say during interviews, it's do as I do, not as I sing.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't follow whatever. Maybe you're in that kind of. Maybe you're in the same situation, but if you're not, then don't be in that situation.
Don't willingly put yourself there.
Don't willingly put, yeah. But yeah, I think I wrote the song as like, sometimes when we fall in love, we tend to not use our brains so much. We get so overwhelmed by our emotions, and we tend to not use our critical thinking anymore. We just want to feel, and we just want to love, and sometimes to the point where even if we're not getting the same love back, we're still doing it. Mm-hmm. We're still staying in the relationship, even if the other person doesn't really care for you as much anymore. Yeah. But we're just so in love, and we have so much love to give, and that sometimes we forget to love ourselves. We don't use our brains anymore. We don't logistically think anymore. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's the point of view of the song generally, and a lot of people have the song resonated to a lot of people, because I got messages saying that, oh, I'm in this kind of situation right now, I'm in this kind of relationship right now, and it made me realize about my self-worth, that I've forgotten about myself, and this person doesn't necessarily deserve the kind of love that I'm giving that person. It's not worth it anymore. Yeah. But just needed to realize that. And again, going back to our discussion earlier, just the power of music and how it can move you and how it can, you know, make you realize things. And it also makes you feel less alone.
Yeah.
Because because you relate to this message, and I'm not the only one who's in this kind of situation. I'm not the only person who's going through this kind of thing. And yeah, it's just really the power of songwriting and the power of music. So but I personally haven't gone through that kind of situation. I hope
I'm
I
grateful.
never.
I was ready to fight somebody. I was like, who hurt you?
I thankfully have never been into that kind of situation. But that's the beauty of songwriting as well. Is you can take on different kinds of personas and say tell different kinds of stories, even though you haven't been through that kind of story specifically. So the catalyst of the songwriting process was just that one Instagram post, and I thought, well, I actually incorporated it into the bridge. If you've unfortunately, Ephra's phone died before you can finish the translation.
I know. That was so tragic.
There's a part in the bridge that's like a word for word a translation of the quote. The part where it says, "Susunugin ang sarili para lang mailawan ka." It's kind of like the same, sentiment of I would set myself on fire just to keep you warm. But yeah, I mean that just says a lot about the kind of love we give sometimes, that we tend to disregard our own feelings and our own love for ourselves. And they always say you can't give from an empty cup.
That's right.
That's for real. And
It's literally, I'll just set at least this translation, right? I'll set myself on fire just to shed you light.
Yeah, I made a couple of like creative liberties, because it's
of course
like the syllabic, and it wouldn't really fit if I did the exact translation. So but I think
it sounds even better the way you did it. That it sounds even more poetic.
I was gonna say like I had this conversation with my friend about that line, how I change it to, instead of like to keep you warm, it's like shed a light on you. Like, my love for you is so intense and it's so bright that you're only being lit up from my love for you.
Yeah, that's right.
You're good, dude. You're a good songwriter. Bloody hell.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Honestly, I would like to take this moment to appreciate and give you thanks personally from the bottom of my heart. I think from songwriter to songwriter, I just think you're doing an incredible job. And even when it's translated, we still have the same core emotion. We still are able to maintain that message. And for that, dude, I just, infinitely grateful for your craft and your art. So thank you for taking the time to talk with us and stuff. It's awesome.
Dude, and when your EP releases, whenever it does release, just do drop us a text, and it'll be awesome to have you back on and speak about it, and maybe the whole process of it. And I'm sure people would love to hear more about it and stuff like that. But it's truly been an honor, man.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys having me here on your podcast. And what I really appreciate about you guys, you guys are really like music fans, and you guys are really passionate about music. And people can tell, because some of these other reactors, just I'm not putting them on the spot, but you guys are like really music fans. And and I can really tell that you guys genuinely and I can tell that you guys are like genuinely are a fan of music, and I think what you're doing is amazing. So just big props to you guys.
I think it comes from probably the idea of we were playing a lot since we were kids. We've been in the music world since kids, playing, and one of the things that blew our minds when we started traveling is that it turns out, music, it's worldwide and it's universal. Everywhere, every corner around the world, there's music. Right. And I'm sure people don't even know. And we were discussing about this, like we should do a Venezuelan podcast where we should feature some of the artists from Venezuela.
Absolutely.
And I think now it's probably about the right time for the channel on the podcast, because I think it's also mind blowing. Like, we're still babies in the podcasting world. I think it's been 9 months, 11 months.
Yeah, we're about to hit 2 years
on the main podcast, and then the Feature Friday Plus. It hasn't even been a year. You know, it's we're still little babies, but it's been so many years prior to this since we were kids in music.
And in the industry itself.
So it was a mind-blowing concept that there's music from all around the world. And
that's so powerful. That resonates so hard.
I think it's probably less about the fact that we actually like music and more about the fact that it's a mind-blowing concept.
Absolutely.
That there's such high quality music and such amazing products all around the world that I would have never been exposed to
if I didn't actively search for it.
You know, so thank you for those kind words. I truly mean it. Yeah, man, everybody.
Drop your socials so people can follow you and keep in touch with everything that you're going to be doing next.
Yes, guys, I'm on Instagram and Twitter. It's just Jason D on Instagram and Jason James D on Twitter. I'm also on Facebook. You can just search Jason D. I'm also on YouTube. It's been a while since I uploaded a new video because, I don't know, I'm kind of a, what do you call this? I'm a deep perfectionist. So it's a detriment to myself as well. It's really, you know, because I edit my own videos and it takes a lot of time for me. So, but hopefully soon, if I get the time and the motivation to start editing my own videos again, maybe soon you'll get a new video. But if you guys can subscribe to all your watchers and listeners, I'm almost at 100,000. So I'm just a couple of. So I can, if you guys can subscribe to my channel as well. What else? During the pandemic, I started like a different passion of mine also. So I started going into photography. So I started my own, I'm dabbling into photography as well. So, I'm not sure if I can, when is this coming out?
I think probably this Sunday. So this week Sunday, okay. That's when Feature Friday Plus comes out.
Yeah, I can't say it yet, but I worked with a local like a major fashion magazine. I shot one of their, so you know.
Oh my God!
But I can't divulge yet, so they're gonna have to watch out for that.
Oh, maybe just tell us when it's out, and then we'll post something about it. Absolutely.
Next month, definitely. It's a September issue.
Yeah, we'll just stay in touch, and you let us know because I want to see those pictures. That sounds amazing. You know.
Thank you. I'm definitely gonna post it on my socials. So
absolutely,
you guys can see it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Jason D.
Goodbye.
Woo!